Trying.
I don't know, maybe one of them took it home and might be using it as a blanket, I don't know. But the experience was, it was cold as hell that night. It was winter. And I'm going to tell you like this, it was cold. And then my body locked up. I fell down on the ground and I had to lay down there for about 45 minutes waiting for an ambulance to come when I had a friend who was going to take me to the VA. So finally, it was cold. I know it was scared of shitless because my body did pop. But I'm all right now. But the thing about it, no man or no government have a right to tell anyone that they have to live their life the way they want you to live your life. See, the one good thing, we all were born with a choice. And that choice is yours to make. No government, no individual. Only you can make that choice. And if you want to live as an or free spirit, then you have that right. If you want to live in an apartment, you have that right as well. Such as, if you want to work, you have that right. If you don't want to work, you have that right. And the thing about it, in this day and age, the 21st century, we have gotten to the point to where the government is really trying to tell us and take control of our lives. How in the hell are they going to take over control over 100 million people alive when they can't even control their damn self in their own government?
Is that right?
My thing is this. As long as I got breath to breathe, I'm going to continue to fight this because I am an advocate for this. I just feel that me being a Marine and willing to put my life on the line for this country,
That's right.
I know damn well I am not about to surrender my rights to no government or no other individual.
That's right.
And y'all, just because y'all didn't fight and not serving in the service, y'all shouldn't have to give up yours. The one thing that I do notice about this is the fact that a lot of these jackasses that we have voted into office don't even know anything about the Constitution. If they did, they wouldn't come up with this bullshit, nor would they be persuaded to enforce indignifying laws that they put in these books. But all I got to say is this. I hope today that the judge would rule in our favor, and I hope he put some more stipulation on Denver. And because I'm going to tell you like this, Denver was getting out very lightly. Very fucking lightly. Because I tell the judge today, I have them so hard that damn, they'd be wanting to appeal this to the Supreme Court. Because I will put everything that I could to make sure that this would not happen again in no other city. And maybe this would probably help some of us sleep better, be able to get our rest, and can go on with our life. That's all this is about. Going on with our life. Let me live my life the way I want to live it and not be bothered. If I don't want to pay a goddamn tax, I'm not going to pay taxes. And you have that right. You have that right. But at the same time, I guarantee you when they show up to want a raise, guess what? I bet they show their asses up on time and vote themselves a raise, but they won't vote housing for 0 to 30%. Ain't that a damn shame? That's selfish bullshit. Selfish bullshit.
Yep.
Anytime that you take and put yourself before the people that you're supposed to be serving, something is wrong with that individual and something is wrong with that government. It's just that simple. So today, hopefully, we will be one part of the equation that we get this thing back. So thank you all for listening. Y'all enjoy, and let's go ahead and make some noise tonight, today. All right? Thank you.
There was 6 people who raised their hands saying that the city and county of Denver has violated their property rights. I want to hear from one more right now. All right, got 2 coming up, so we'll go.
I've been homeless for a long time. I've been dealing with stuff for a long time. But you come up and you take my property from me, it's like me walking into your house and stealing from you. If I did that, I would end up in jail. So it gives you the right to come up and take my stuff because I'm trying to live. We are trying to survive. Most of us out here actually monitor and police ourselves. We take care of ourselves. We make sure that nothing goes wrong. We clean up after ourselves. But when it's so hard just to pay rent, even if you have a say 38-hour-a-week job, what's that going to pay for you? Rent? Okay, fine. Where's my laundry? Where's my food? Where's my cleaning supplies? Anything else? So I got one choice only, to take care of myself and those around me. And having the stuff taken from us violates our rights to live. So you're telling me that because I don't have a job, maybe I'm broken right now, I am, but that'll heal. Some of us are permanently broken. Some of us are veterans. I am not, and I appreciate those that actually did, because they gave me the life that I'm allowed to have today. I'm still alive. Thank you guys for serving. I was not allowed to. I tried. And those that have served and have no housing, boo on the government. Boo! Because you asked me to set my life out to protect us, and when I got back, what did you give us? What did you give them? But it killed crickets? Yeah. But the right to live and to rest and just sit, because you're always kicking us from spot to spot. We are tired. Everybody asks, why are the homeless always tired? The homeless are tired because every time we get a chance to shut our eyes, somebody says, move along. And that ain't no joke. You want to try it, come out here. See how long you'll stay. This shit ain't easy. Pardon my English, I don't speak French that well. I try not to cuss. But why? Why pick on us when we're not picking on you? Thank you. If we're not breaking into your buildings, to your cars, or jumping you, why are you bothering us? Leave those alone that leave others alone. Take care of those that don't. Because some of those people honestly need a proper place to be.
All right, Wolf is coming up right now. Wolf's up.
Hi, my name's Wolf. My true name's Julian Begay. I'm Navajo Indian, and I have a different approach on this whole deal. One night after the police had moved us 3 times, every time we laid down and camp again, about an hour, just when we started to relax, the police came up again. Full force, like 10, 12 at a time. And they weren't saying, would you please move? They were saying, get the hell out. You got 5 minutes to pack everything you own and leave. We don't care where, just leave. About after the 3rd time I made camp that night, I got to thinking about it. It was the same thing that happened to my ancestors, the Navajos, way back when in the day. It's over 100 years later, and the police are still regulating this because we ain't them. We're homeless, they got homes. So what they come down here and they make us behave. It's the same thing they tried to do to the Navajo people and the Native American people. Some of them lost, some of them won. But my people, the Navajos, they never lost. They never gave up. They were never defeated. And so I didn't choose to be homeless. I became homeless because a 40-hour-a-week job couldn't pay my rent. It couldn't feed me. It couldn't take care of me because I just didn't make enough money. So I became homeless, and then I found out that homelessness was a crime. At least they treated me like a criminal. When you go to ask them for help, they're trying to run us out if here, the services are here. That's why we can't. That's why we're here. To get housing, to get medical attention and things like that. If we move 3-5 miles out where they're trying to get us to move out of their neighborhood, because everybody thinks that you should help the homeless, they just don't want to help you in their neighborhood. Send it to somebody else's neighborhood. But then we can't get the services that we need. And then we're scattered everywhere else. We congregate out of safety, out of something that human beings have done their whole life. When they're beaten upon and chased around, they congregate for safety. We don't have any safety. A buddy of mine a month ago got woken up by the police, and they were real nice to him. One of them actually booted him in the head because he didn't immediately move out of his sleeping bag. Yeah, that doesn't sound like something that I want to have happen to me. It doesn't sound like something that I joined the Marine Corps, did my time there, to come back here and be chased around. Just because I was trying to survive. Just because it was cold and I covered myself. Or I built a shelter. I didn't think that was a crime.
Amen.
That's right.
And now I find out it is. And if you watch the TV and you pay attention to current events, we're being treated like we're citizens of a third world country. In one of the strongest and best countries in the world. And I don't think that's right. So until I quit breathing or I can't stand, I will fight. Thank you.
All right. So we've heard from 3 folks who have been violated by the city of Denver. We're here today for our class action hearing that has been going on for 3 years to fight for basic property rights. And we're here today with our attorney, Jason Flores Williams. And so I want to turn the mic over to him to speak about what is going on today, why we are here, and this fight over the past 3 years.
Stop clapping. Come on. All right, guys. 3 years ago, remember there was this Denver Post article out there? What was it? Where's Ben? Remember that op-ed, the Denver Post, saying that it was an overkill and it was an overreaction, saying that we could actually step up for the constitutional rights of people?
Vaguely,
You know
there
what?
were several.
You know what's interesting to me is that any time you ever step up for the fundamental dignity and the constitutional rights of the poor, they always call it an overreaction. They always say to you, hey, this doesn't reflect reality. And you know why? So they can continue defining reality. They can continue telling us how great this society is and how wonderful everything is. But you know what? At a certain point, it takes people who have the courage enough to say, no, I'm looking at reality, and I'm looking at the truth that I know, and this society isn't as wonderful as you say it is. There are people suffering on the street. It's not all about the fancy apartments downtown. It's not all about everybody getting as rich as possible. There's an entirely different narrative that's going on in America right now. And I learned it from Therese Howard, to be honest with you, is that when I met Therese Howard and I said, hey, you want to do this thing? And she said, well, I see it all as part of a movement, because that's what it is. And so when you look at this litigation, and my friends, I've worked hard. There were times of loneliness and despair where I thought we could never do it. But in what great battle does that not exist? In what great victory does that not exist? This is a victory for us today. It's a victory of people who said, we are not going to relinquish our humanity. We are going to stand up in the face of the American mainstream and assert who it is that we are. And so, in meeting Therese Howard and her connecting this to a movement, I began to see that this just doesn't represent a narrow definition of Fourth Amendment rights. Hey, you can't do this, you can't do that. But what it represents is people over profits. It represents that the human spirit and the value we place on people is so infinitely greater than the value you might place on a 1,200 square foot or whatever square foot apartment, that it's incalculable. And that's what we brought into the federal courthouse today. That people are more valuable than money.
Amen.
Amen.
Oh, I'm not done. You know, I want to say this because I feel like it's important right now. Yeah, I'm just feeling good about today. But every so often it's okay to feel good about where you're at. You don't have to live in a kind of defeated misery, because that defeated misery is a function of what they want you to feel about yourself. What I feel
This is my lawyer.
about today. What's up, man? Go ahead. Is this. In America right now, you know what the most controlling thing we face is? You know what the big message of everything is? You're powerless. You can't do nothing. Yeah, maybe you'll see something, but you can't stand up against it. There is nothing that an individual or a bunch of poor people do or a bunch of desperate people do who have ideals and believe in the complex nature of this life and the human spirit. There ain't nothing you can do in contrast to what Donald Trump represents. There ain't nothing you can do in contrast to that. Well, you know what this is? This is the assertion that there is something we can do. That when people come together and say, no, I got you, you got me, I got your back, I got your back, let's try it. No matter what the forces are, and no matter how many people are standing around you saying, hey, don't waste your time, this can't be done. That it can be done, and today is the realization of it. Yes. You know, part of what we see and know is that we are made to feel bad for our dreams. We are made to feel bad for thinking that the world is more than just a bunch of people chasing the dollar. That the world is more than transactional.
That's right. That is right.
Well, you know what? Today, and the people around here, is a statement. It is an assertion against all those forces out there who say that individuals who care about the world and who think big thoughts aren't as valuable as the guys chasing the buck and who would step on their grandma's head to pick up a penny.
Amen.
Us right now, what we represent and what today represents is hope. And the assertion
That's what they're afraid of. Is hope.
you can't have any hope out.
They're
The
afraid of that.
assertion of the human spirit in the face of a cold and dead world.
Drop the mic, brother. Drop it.
All right. On that note, we have about 10 or 15 minutes till we need to head in. So there's a couple things I want to do before we head in. Thing number one, we have some notebooks here.
That's Therese Howard. That
And
was
these notebooks are here because we know
lawyer.
that the city is probably not going to follow this agreement.
Can't trust power.
No, you
We
can't.
know that after
Joseph
today,
Flores.
it doesn't become
Joe Flores.
a happy-go-lucky world where the city is respecting our rights and not taking anybody's property. We know that after today, what happens is now we have the teeth to enforce that. That's what changes after today.
That's right.
We have the power to enforce it every time they violate our rights. And that's what these notebooks are for. So if you are currently on the streets, I want to help me by passing them out? Can somebody be a Dr. Rodder? If you're currently on the stage, is an incident report. That incident report explains what you need to tell us, to tell the lawyers, and so that we can take it back to court any and every time that they violate your property rights. And these are very basic. It should be simple. We know it's not going to be for the city because they seem to be a little slow. But if you're educated and you know what those rights are, you can enforce it. So basic rights, the 48-hour notice has to be attached to your property, okay? Attached to it. If it's raining, it has to be in plastic. It has to have a date that it was placed. It has to have a phone number to call, and it has to say when the 48 hours is for. And that's for small encampments, if you're just a few people. If it's a large group, like 10 tents or more, that means it's a large encampment. That's 7 days notice. Same thing, has to be taped, attached to your property, saying the date that it was placed, you have 7 days, a phone number to call, and all that. Pretty basic. That's stuff we can learn. We can remember that. And if we have that in our minds and are constantly documenting everything that happens, then we can enforce this and ensure that it is respected as we fight it year in and year out. That's what's going to happen here. We're going to build this movement. We're going to build power on the streets. This is a street level movement to build that power. So I'm going to pass the mic off to Ben. All right, so I'm going to pass the mic off to Ben.
All right, on those notebooks, we have enough for everybody here today, but if you have friends that want a notebook with that kind of stuff, we have more at the office. We're at 2260 California. Send your friends. We'll get everybody equipped so they can take care of their rights and follow up on this and protect each other.
All right, so everybody should have a notebook. Look at it, it's important. I think we're going to close off with a song from Luke, and then we're going to gather to move into the court building. We'll have an option for people that don't have IDs, so while Luke's playing a song, if you don't have an ID, come and talk to me, and we'll figure it out so you can get in. So here we go. Luke, you are up. Oh, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, if anyone has stuff they don't want to bring into the courtroom, we've got a car over here that we can lock your stuff up in. I've got like tape, so we'll mark your bag with your name, and then you can go into court and not have to worry about your stuff, and it'll be locked up and safe.
All right, so sign the seal if you have stuff you need to lock up. Sign me if you don't have an ID.
Okay, I wrote this song last night about this movement. All of these cops high at the altitude, they don't play nice, they have a bad attitude. Watch out, they'll come after you if you lose your job or your roof. But we won't stick up with this abuse. And if they ask us, we'll refuse. We're not gonna move. And this part is open-ended. If anyone wants to just say one thing that they'd like to see moving forward from this. One thing. I've got my sexuality tonight. Hell yeah. Anyone else?
Woo! Keep on!
I got my right to sleep tonight. Hell to the yes. Any other budding artists out there? No. Looking for some singers. Music, yeah, we got music, we got sexuality, we got rights, we have the right to survive.
Yeah!
Hell yeah. Because as much as it's about one-upping the cops, it's really about building a movement together where we see each other's value, we're building something around love and compassion. and a little bit of rage. Jesse, what are you looking forward to?
People stop stealing our rights. We got the right to survive. What part of that don't comprehend? We are in it here. Our rapper author got almost 15,000 no money. Who can say that for the poor and the black and destitute in the town where we getting gentrified out of our communities? What part of that don't you comprehend? This is ethnic cleansing out of the predominantly black and brown. That's what it is. That's all what it's been. At least the past 30 plus years in the mile high income city where you gotta have mile high income just to afford to pay some rent. Mile high income!
Oh yeah, let's move up to the courthouse, tell them, show them our power, and thanks everyone.
So, quick question, if I might, Jason. How do we, when we catch them violating the federal order, how do we get immediate, on-the-spot relief to stop their behavior?
Look, man, let me tell you something. There ain't no on-the-spot relief in this world.
I believe that. That's why I'm asking you.
So I'm not sitting here lying to anybody.
Yeah.
Because you just got to take the time the same way and say, here's how this settlement got violated. You don't even talk about your rights. Therese made up this good questionnaire, and you just write it up, and she's handing it out everywhere.
Okay.
And you write it out, and then you give it back to Denver Homeless Out Loud, and then it comes to me.
So the lawsuit settlement today, anytime the city files it, is that basically then like a 1983 violation?
No,
or what is it?
it's a motion and a complaint for the violation of the settlement. You don't even have to go down that route anymore. It's just real quick. It's boom, boom, boom. That's it.
Okay.
Good?
I appreciate the knowledge. Thank you very much. That's what the door does when he wins. He dances.
Well, needs to store stuff. Store stuff inside. Hey, where did our men go? Robin? Where you at? Need to store anything?
No, unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna make it in. I've got a lot of stuff we're playing. I live here, including my marijuana. I have no problem because they'll hold it. The marshals, they can hold your marijuana. All right. It's my thing. I might. What was it supposed to be? A 2 o'clock hearing?
It's at 1:30.
Oh, 1:30? You know, we might have enough time. Yes, that's exactly right, Stephanie. We'll talk about that real quick, huh? So the idea is that if you have a motion to say that the lawsuit was not being honored, you file a motion to complain against the settlement. Guess what? We're learning this stuff. We've got to do more of these things, right? So it's one step at a time, one day at a time. But hey, everybody, give Jesse some mad props for throwing the song up. Sorry I didn't get the whole thing on camera for y'all, but of course that's Jesse right there. And We are. We're gonna call it a day here. We're gonna go in, see what's going on. Go from there. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for joining us.